Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon,
and you feel like giving up.
good evening, wherever this
like
video
over.
might be meeting you
You
around
look
the
left,
world.
you look right, and there's no help. All your
Yeah,
friends are
this
no
is
longer there.
Luis Morningstar coming to you all the way from Kiev City,
I
Ukraine.
don't know why you came here.
It's
tonight.
been a while, I've been on this platform, it's been a while I've come live on Facebook.
Take this
But
time
I'm going
think
to
back
start
who
coming
you
live on Facebook once every week now. I think perhaps for the next 1 month,
Doesn't matter what
because I think it's time to talk
in what
Africa.
situations you may be.
I'm an African, I'm a proud African.
And I want to tell
I
you,
love
stop
being
crying,
African, and
because you
I
have a big God.
believe that this is the time for every
If your
African
problem
to
is big,
be
then
proud
your
of
God is
who they
bigger
are
than that problem. So you don't
and
have to worry about
start
anything.
working towards making our continent
Don't you worry.
the place we want it to
Don't let them
be,
take
so
it
we
anymore.
can
Don't
actually
tell people your story and just
live in
focus
harmony.
on Him.
We can walk with our shoulders high up. We can walk with our chests out.
3
We
o'clock in
can
the
walk
morning,
with our chins up as well,
2 weeks back.
and actually take that identity that was given to us by God and live it not just within the confines of the African continent, but portraying it throughout the whole world. Well, my heart is very bitter every time I think of our continent, every time I look at those of us here in the diaspora, every time I hear of the stories happening back home, it's disheartening, and it calls for an active response. It calls for a conscious endeavor to contribute, no matter how small the contribution might be. But I think it is necessary that we all start working towards contributing to the growth and the processes that we want to see in our continent. And we are going to start doing that by, first of all, being able to identify what the problem is. You don't kill a tree from the stem, you kill a tree from the roots. So it's very important that we get to understand what the problems are. We get to understand where the problems are coming from, if we must be able to handle or tackle these problems and put an end to it. And that is why I'll be coming live as we start talking on Inside Talks. Inside Talks was actually a program I started, and last year we had a few discussions. I put up a few videos on decision making, but this time around it's going to be centered on politics. I know some people might want to say, but Pastor, why do you want to start talking about politics? Well, if you care less about your continent and about the things or the prevailing circumstances, the marginalization, the suppression, the slavery, the colonization, the enslavement of people, the maiming of our youths, the psychological trauma that has been used to suppress the voices of our youths, and of course kill the potentials that are within them, then you can be quiet. But I am not going to be limited by human conceptions or by some particular task to die with the potentials that God has put in me. And it is coming from a part of the African continent that has faced the worst form of inhumane treatment from the prevailing government. I can't be quiet. I think it's time to share my experiences, because I'll be talking basically from a practical point of view. I'll be talking basically from life experiences since childhood, what I've been through since childhood, what I've witnessed. I know it might not be anything compared to what a lot of people are going through, but I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to share this out to the whole world and also provoke the minds of our youth. It's time for us to rise up. It's time for us to start thinking. It's time for us to sit up and take upon ourselves the responsibilities God has given to us to push our nations forward. It is time for us to realize that We have the power to put an end to every injustice, every form of tyranny that we have been subjected to in the past years. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of things. I just want you to hold tight. I'll be posting on my Facebook page the time exactly I will be coming live, or if I'm not coming live, I'm going to be making a video just like this one. I had some internet issues, that's why I didn't go live, so I had to just record this, and then I'll work on it and post it later. So I just want you to brace up as we discuss these matters, and there are going to be a range of topics, and there will be room for questioning, and there will be room for contribution. I want us to start up a revolution, especially those of us in the diaspora, a youthful revolution that will go back home and put an end to this geriatric leadership mode that has hijacked the African system. God told Abraham, I will make you a father of nations. Abraham alone was a nation. Abraham alone was a nation. I am a nation. You are a nation. You are a nation. And no nation can rise above the level of its leadership. This is a statement that was made by one of the greatest leaders and mentors of all time. I admire and listen to and read his books, and it's no other person but John C. Maxwell. No nation can rise above the level of its leadership, and that is exactly why in the Bible it is said that righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. So as far as we are trying to look at the problems that are plaguing the African continent and see how we can profess solutions and how to push ourselves into active a contribution towards the restructuring of our economies, we also have to take note that it begins with us, because we are nations, and if righteousness is what is needed to exalt us, being nations means we are leaders. So the leadership, the way Abraham carried himself, is what determined if that nation was going to be given birth to. It's what determined if that nation was going to see the light of day. And because of his righteousness, his faithfulness, and his ability to believe God, and not just believe but put to action everything God commanded him to do, he was able to live and bring forth those nations God deposited within him. But today we are more of claimers of the blessings of Abraham, forgetting to know that we also as individual entities are nations as well. And when we start working on ourselves, being a nation means we are also leaders, and we have to first of all lead our lives before we'll be able to lead people out there. So these are some things we are going to start talking about. We are going to discuss the failure in the aspect of leadership in Africa that has brought us to the dregs of humanity, and it is time to put an end to it. And I call on everybody, you don't need to be perfect in everything you want to do before you begin anything. You have to just start somewhere. You don't have to wait to get ready. You have to start somewhere and start working towards the process. That is why I'm bringing this up, so that we all together can see what we can do within our power in restructuring our continent. I love you all. I really didn't intend to make this go beyond 7 minutes. It's already 8, and I'm going to put an end to this now. We have a lot on our plate to discuss. Not just discuss, but move into action. I'll be seeing you soon. And we'll be talking. So please spread the word. Be ready as we ride this boat together. May God bless us all. May He give us the wisdom to move forward and move our continent forward. May He give us the ability and the courage to handle every threat, to overcome every barrier, and to stop at nothing until that picture He painted for Africa is realized. I love you all. Have a great day wherever you are. God bless you. Bye-bye.